14 years. But to be honest with you, when I first started using essential oils, I was not that impressed. I thought they were cool, but you can smell my oil.
That's good.
Good.
So I thought they were cool, but I wasn't overly impressed. I didn't think it was anything that, oh my gosh, this is insane. I can't believe I didn't know about it. Until I was introduced to a certain quality of essential oils, and that's certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. So before, I'll talk about that in a little bit. Before I was using pure oils that I bought at a health food store, and so they said 100% pure. You know, they smelled okay, whatever, but I didn't have any great medicinal breakthroughs. I didn't like cure anything or, you know, see anything fabulous happen. And so I used them, but a bottle would last me forever because I didn't use them daily. I didn't switch from over-the-counter drugs. I was still using over-the-counter drugs, and I was using essential oils until I found a high-quality oil that actually I saw the difference immediately. So basically essential oils are pure plant extracts. Oh, and on the pure oils I was getting at the health food store, they can claim they're 100% pure because the oil they put in there is 100% pure, but then they put it into filler. So you are buying 100% pure oil, but it's diluted. And so that's why I wasn't getting the benefits. So I wasn't that impressed with essential oils. Basically, essential oils are plant extracts. They come from roots, seeds, berries, stems, barks of plants, different plants. And they're 80 times more powerful than herbs. So I don't know if any of you have ever used herbs. I was a big herb user before, which I hardly ever buy herbs anymore. But they're 80 times more powerful. So if you get a benefit from an herb, then you're going to get 80 times the benefit from an essential oil. So they're truly, truly impressive if you give them a chance. And I'm just going to take you through a list of the emergency oils and a little bit about what they do, what each one of them does, okay? And these are not, this is not all the oils. There's more oils, but these are just the oils that I would have on hand for an emergency for my family. So at the top we have clove, and it's great for pain and for eliminating toxins. My son had teeth pulled, and he was in a lot of pain, and I don't like to lean towards pain medication first. And if you think about it, there's times where you're not going to have pain medication. You know, you have an emergency, you have something, so clove can relieve pain. You're welcome to smell that and just pass it along.
I do tear up, sorry.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay, so she's all, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah, exactly.
about, right?
Keep going, girl. You're doing great.
They can be used to draw out toxins and help relieve your body of infections. And you can apply them on your feet. With essential oils, there's 3 ways to apply, there's 3 ways to use them. You can apply them topically. What are you doing? Sorry. I'm a little distracted there. Well, what are you doing? You can apply them topically to your skin. So if you have, you know, something on your skin or whatever, you can apply them topically. A great place to apply them topically is the bottoms of the feet, because the pores on the bottoms of your feet are the largest in your whole body. So if you take 1 drop of Balance essential oil and you place it on the bottom of your foot, in 30 seconds it's throughout your bloodstream. They can prick your finger and it is throughout your bloodstream. So that's a pretty quick delivery system. I don't know of any drug that can get in your system in 30 seconds like that. I guess IV maybe.
Only IV, yeah.
Which we all have an IV at our house, right? We won't go into that just yet. It also aids in relieving nausea and constipation. You can just massage it on the stomach. So you can use the oils topically, you can use them aromatically, and I have a diffuser which puts the oils in tiny particles into the air in my home. So they are totally amazing. So if one of the kids comes home with a virus, I put it in my diffuser and I diffuse it throughout my house, and it kills the virus in the air, which is incredible. So the rest of us don't get sick, right? I mean, isn't that what our goal is? When somebody comes home and we're like, oh, go to your room.
So you would go sit with the fish tank.
So there was topical, there's aromatic, and there's, oh my gosh, help me. Internal. Oh, so what's the other one? Internal. So you cannot take all essential oils internally. If you go to the health food store and you look at a bottle, it says 100% pure, and then it says do not take internally. That's your cue. That is not a 100% pure oil. I don't care what they tell you. If it says do not take it internally, with the exception of a few, a wintergreen, is not supposed to be taken internally because in large quantities it can be toxic. Now, I know people who take wintergreen and deep blue internally. We're talking a drop. We're not talking, you know, a half a bottle. So they have safety caps on the ones that you're not supposed to take internal. Okay, so then frankincense is the next one. It's one of my favorite oils, and it's great for inflammation. If you know anybody who has arthritis, a couple drops under your tongue in the morning, and I mean, you can feel relief in seconds, not hours. So you take an Aleve and you're like, oh, I'm still in pain. No, you're gonna feel relief like that. It's amazing. I have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue, so I use frankincense every single morning under my tongue.
It's also the king of all oils.
Yes, it is. And if you're confused and you're like, I don't know what oil to use, frankincense, I'm telling you, it does everything. It enhances the effects of other oils. So if you have an oil that you go, wow, that worked really good for my headache, and you still have a little bit of a headache, add frankincense on top of that other oil, and it will enhance the effects of it. Helps to relieve headaches. Apply it with peppermint and lavender. It supports skin tissue recovery. You can actually put a little bit of lavender in your facial moisturizer, and it's really good for youthful skin. Also good for skin cancer. I have a friend who had skin cancer, and she kept going to the doctor, and she had this cream that was $100, and it was making her skin break open and bleed, and within days her skin cancer mark was gone. And she went back to the doctor, and he's like, wow, that cream I gave you worked really good. She wasn't using the cream anymore. She was using frankincense. It helps with your focus and mental clarity, so you could diffuse it for that. Or if you don't have a diffuser, you can still use the oils aromatically. You can just put a drop in your hands and huff. It's okay to inhale. At this time. Okay. These are okay to inhale. I'm not saying inhale everything. Brenda said it. Oh, I'm in trouble, right?
That's my daughter.
I know, right? I am from the Bay Area, so, right? You never know when I'm growing up there. Just kidding. So you know. Okay, so lavender's coming around, and it's great for calming and stress reduction. It's really good for skin issues. If you have a burn or something and you put a little bit of lavender on your burn, you can feel a bee sting. You can feel it instantly, soothe it. My husband went on a camping trip, and I made him a little tiny tin with little tiny mini bottles of essential oils, and his friend was making fun of him, right? Well, his friend's kids got stung by bees, and my husband comes over, puts a drop of lavender oil, and the kids were like, oh, I feel better, and they were off and running. And his wife's like, what was that you put on my children, right? Yeah, these are the little tiny bottles that I made up my own emergency essential oil kit, and I have one of these at work too that I keep with me because I'm a junkie. And I inhale. Okay, then lemon's going around, and it's great for cleansing and mood elevation. All of the citrus oils are really good if you're just in a bad mood. If you're driving in traffic, we have a lot of traffic in the Bay Area, and if you're driving in traffic and you're stressed out and irritable, any of the citrus oils will elevate your mood very quickly. Yeah, everything's good. We're all good now.
Lemon will work perfect.
It's a natural antioxidant and a detoxifier. I wish I had brought a styrofoam cup. There's no styrofoam cups.
Over here.
There's paper cups out there.
That's good.
Because if you take the lemon oil and you put a couple drops inside of a styrofoam cup, it will literally eat the styrofoam cup. It dissolves it like a whole. It will be gone. It doesn't, damage it. No, it eats it. It's gone. So lemon actually dissolves petrochemicals. So when you put it in your water, you want to make sure you're drinking out of glass, because if you're putting it in a plastic bottle, it's dissolving those petrochemicals, and then you're like, yummy, I'm drinking these petrochemicals. Isn't that awesome? But that's a great experiment to show people, is to put a drop of lemon oil, because it shows the power. And then sometimes people are a little afraid of that. They're like, well, if it's dissolving that cup, should I be drinking that internally? Well, it's not going to do anything if you're made of organic material, which most of us are. So, I don't know about you guys, but I am. So it helps to elevate your mood. It helps with stress and fatigue. Again, you can just diffuse it. You can just put a drop in your hand, inhale. Inhale as often as you want me to. It helps to balance your acidity levels. calm and upset stomach, and encourages elimination. So you can take it with the water, and if you don't like the taste of it, you can put it in a capsule and swallow it, so that you can buy empty capsules at the health food store. Because sometimes people don't like the taste, or they don't care for a smell of an oil, so I usually would take it in a capsule. Lemongrass is great for cramping muscles. It's good to soothe your muscles. You can just apply it topically on the skin. It's actually an anti-inflammatory. So when you're dealing with pain, most of the time you're dealing with inflammation. So if you can decrease your inflammation, then you're going to eliminate the pain, right? You're not just going to eliminate the pain for 20 minutes, because the more you use it, if you continue to use it, your inflammation is going to be under control. So you're not going to have that pain. Eventually you're going to be like, oh, I haven't used my lemongrass in 4 weeks because I haven't had pain. You can put it in warm water and soak your feet in it. It's also really good to reduce cholesterol if taken internally.
Fiber.
It's cleansing, and I love it in the diffuser. It really helps to create, it calms my anxiety. Like if I'm at work and I'm stressed out, I'm in an office by myself and I have 500 students. So I tend to get a little harried. I put it in my diffuser, and it's so funny because one of the other teachers comes over and she's like, I don't know what's in that thing, but it's working because you are calm. So Melaleuca is going around, and Melaleuca is one that I don't care for the smell of. It's very medicinal, but you know what? It's very medicinal. It's very potent, and it works. It does what it says it does. You can use it for first aid ointment, just by applying it on the location if you have a cut or a scrape. Melaleuca has been proven to kill the MRSA virus, which is a superbug. And it's a superbug that a lot of people are so freaked out about because there's no drugs that can kill it. Well, guess what? Melaleuca and also an oil we have called On Guard Blend, they both have been proven to kill the MRSA virus. It's useful for skin irritations like bug bites again, stings, athlete's foot, antifungal. It's powerful antifungal. It's good for eczema, psoriasis. It helps with immune support. You could take it internally in a capsule for your immune system. And anything to do with the skin, whenever you think of Melaleuca, if you have any problems with your skin, Melaleuca is your go-to oil. Oregano is great for immune support. It's very, very strong oil. It's also caustic. It gets warm. So if you think you're going to put oregano directly on your skin, don't do it. I'm going to get the coconut oil out. You have got to dilute your oregano oil with coconut oil, because it will burn your skin. You can actually take a wart off with oregano oil. It will come off.
Wow.
So that tells you, do not, and you can cook with it. Just 1 drop. And don't think I'm exaggerating when I say 1 drop and put in 5, because you're going to be like, whoa.
Just draw some designs on you with a toothpick. You can do that too.
I was going to say, a lot of times they
Yeah.
suggest a toothpick and then stir the toothpick in your food.
Yeah, and I do take, if I was getting strep throat or something, I would take oregano in a capsule with a little bit of lemon oil and then dilute it with lemon oil or coconut oil in the capsule. And it's a powerful antiviral, antifungal, awesome oil. Again, it's not my favorite smell, but you know what? It does what it says it does.
It works. In capsule, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can help relieve back and joint pain. It's great for inflammation also. Again, you can take it internally, and then over days it will increase your inflammation. Did you touch it to your nose?
No, it's a little, it's
strong.
lingering.
It's very potent, huh? Okay, so peppermint's coming around. Peppermint should clear your palate from the oregano. If he doesn't put it in his pocket. Peppermint oil is the first oil I saw from this company. And this is why I saw this oil. I actually went to Cheryl's house and she showed me her peppermint and I went, that's not like the peppermint I knew. Sign me up, seriously. I didn't even see a presentation. I didn't care. I knew that this was potent quality oil. So peppermint's one of my favorites. It's good for indigestion and it's very cooling. So if you're overheated, you can put a squirt bottle, put about 10 drops of peppermint oil in it, spray the back of your neck. I put 1 drop right on the back of my neck, and I'm telling you, it cools me right off, and I get overheated really easy.
Hey Brenda?
Yeah.
I just a little thing on the peppermint oil. I had some surgeries on this arm where they had to reattach muscles and everything, and from here down you could not touch my arm. It tingled and it hurt so bad. And Katie did a little bit of research, and she got some peppermint oil and just a couple drops in about 16 ounces of water, and as soon as you would spray that
Peppermint
on there,
olive oil.
I could do this now.
Yeah,
It was just amazing.
it's stimulating. It
Yeah.
helps to stimulate the.
It cooled it down, it wasn't
tissues
burning
and- yeah.
anymore, and
Nerve
nerve pain.
Yeah.
Don't put 2 drops. Hot
Or even a
chocolate with-
toothpick, a toothpick of peppermint and put it in your hot chocolate, really good, yeah.
Sounds like stuff that pharmaceuticals can't heal.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And peppermint also helps to increase your energy, so if you're feeling a little tired and you're in the car or whatever, put a drop of peppermint in your palms, inhale. You guys can all say I taught you to inhale, okay? Because I will not deny it.
Coffee.
Yeah, so it's very energizing and invigorating. I love peppermint, it's one of my favorites.
Peppermint will also, if your child has a fever or if you have a fever, 1 to 2 drops of peppermint diluted, especially if it's your child, will take your child's temperature down.
On the back of the neck or on the bottom of the
Without
feet.
having to use Tylenol or Motrin or ibuprofen or whatever.
And much
else.
quicker too, much quicker than a over-the-counter would
Hmm.
work. So Aroma Touch is the next oil. I'm on the back of the sheet now. It aids in relaxation and stress relief, and it really does. It's awesome if you can put a little bit of Aroma Touch on the bottoms of your feet, just rub it in, and then I usually smell my hands because I like to inhale, and then I just feel so relaxed. It helps again to relieve inflammation, and if you, I don't know if you've noticed lately, but if you're watching drug commercials, what do you see a lot of? Inflammation. This is caused by inflammation. That's caused. Byron was caused by inflammation. Just kidding. So many things that we're suffering from are caused by inflammation. So if we can get our inflammation levels down, you can control a lot of your health problems that you're dealing with. And most of our oils are anti-inflammatory. And another thing is they don't have side effects. So whereas every single drug you have has at least one side effect, and then you have to take another drug for a side effect, and then you know the cycle. They don't have side effects, they have side benefits. So you might be using peppermint because you have a headache, and then all of a sudden you notice, oh wow, it's also helping this other problem that I've been having, and you didn't even realize that you were gonna get that benefit. So that's the cool thing about essential oils, where you might be using it for one thing, you're going to have side benefits, I can guarantee you. Breathe is a respiratory support blend. So some of these oils are single oils, like clove was a single oil. Breathe is a blend, which means it's got several oils in one bottle. They're all blended together. It helps to ease respiratory distress. You can just diffuse it and inhale. You can apply it to your chest or your sinuses. My husband gets chronic sinus infections, and he uses Breathe and Digestin to treat his sinus infections. It's also great during allergy season. Again, put a drop in your hand. Your nose could be totally runny. Put a drop in your hand, inhale deeply. Or if you have asthma, Breathe is great. Put a drop in your hand. Make an inhaler out of your other hand. Inhale deeply, and you will feel a difference. Cheryl has an awesome story about her aunt who came over. You want to share that real quick?
My aunt has COPD, and she's supposed to use oxygen, and she comes over to visit from Phoenix, and she leaves her oxygen in Phoenix instead of bringing it with her. And they came over to play games, and we were having game night at our house, and she was really having trouble breathing. And so I think Bob said, why don't you take her oxygen level? So I have a little pulse ox machine because I used to do home health, and her oxygen level was 84%. Anything under 90, Medicare will pay for oxygen. Really, you want your oxygen level to be at least 92 to 94, but like 90 is the cutoff. So she was well below acceptable range. She put 2 drops, well she's also blind. I put 2 drops in her hand, and she cupped it, and she inhaled. Yes, my 85-year-old
See?
inhaled.
Even 85-year-olds are inhaling. It's
She
awesome.
inhaled it several times, and then I had her rub the rest on her chest.
Yeah.
We took her oxygen level again, like between the time it took her to do this and then me to go back, her oxygen level went from 84% to 97%.
Wow.
Just with one dose or one episode of using the Breathe. And my family is really into traditional Western medicine, And so they've sort of thought that me using these oils were a little bit, a little bit kooky. Once they saw my aunt and they saw those numbers, they were like, so peppermint sold me on the oils, but breathe is what really took off with my family.
Yeah, it's a very powerful, powerful oil.
And now, 3 of my siblings use breathe.
Cheryl's an RN, by the way. In fact, we have a ton of RNs, even medical doctors in our group, in our doTERRA group, because they're seeing the value of this. And the ironic thing is that prescription drugs come from a plant source initially, and then men take them and they tweak them and they make them better.
And charge a lot of money
so
for
that
it.
they can copyright them.
Yeah.
Because you cannot copyright something from nature. I cannot copyright cilantro plant, right? But I can take it and I can make a drug out of it and then I can copyright it. So basically what they're doing is they're making it toxic and then copyrighting it and charging us a bunch of extra money for it.
And your body doesn't know how to handle it.
And your body doesn't know what to do with it. It is foreign to your body. Same thing to me with the GMO stuff that's going around.
No.
It's the same type of thing. Okay, so yeah.
I'm dying to ask a question.
Yeah, don't die.
I've wanted to ask this for a long time. I have sleep apnea and I have a CPAP machine. I've always thought there's got to be some kind of little thing you can put in there. I mean, you clean it, it doesn't smell bad or anything, but it would be nice to put a little something in there.
Cheryl does.
That's
a great question.
There's got to be something in this.
Cheryl, stand right here because they're videotaping. Stand here and answer that question.
I have sleep apnea also, and I have sleep apnea also, and I have, ever since I had cancer, I've had issues with anxiety and sleeping. And I take Serenity, which is a blend of lavender and chamomile and some other stuff. And I put 1 drop of Serenity in my water that I use in my CPAP machine. However, you do need to clean it out every day because the essential oil
will accumulate.
Will accumulate, and your CPAP machine, the whole thing is sort of like a really hard plastic stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want the essential oil to sit on it.
Okay.
But I've used them now for probably about a year in my CPAP machine, and I haven't noticed any deterioration of my supplies. But you have to clean it you have to clean it out. I would highly recommend using Breathe in your CPAP machine, because that's going to open up your airways. It may actually cut down on your need to use the CPAP machine, but you would be getting that aromatically, because you know how the air blows through your CPAP machine? So this air is going to constantly blow across the oil in the water, and you're going to get it, you're going to be inhaling it. And since these oils are safe, you can inhale them.
You could actually put it on the filter too,
I put it right in the water. I haven't put it on that little filter.
Yeah.
My little filter on the back is just the intake filter, where the air goes in, and I don't clean that as often as I should.
Well, yeah, sure.
And I would avoid the citrus oils in the machine only because
Sure.
what we talked about, how the
Yeah.
citrus oils
But
dissolve.
like if I want the lavender, the chamomile.
I was just thinking it'd be a pleasant,
Yeah.
it's just a nice thing to do, even if you didn't get anything out of it.
I would not,
will.
I would not put straight peppermint,
Oh, no.
because peppermint is invigorating.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wanna go to sleep. So, but I would use the Breathe to open up my airways, to open up the alveoli in my lungs, yes.
Okay.
But definitely you gotta clean.
And we have Serenity here too, we'll let you
Oh,
smell that. That's another one of my.
But I don't have an issue with, my issue is sleep apnea due to obstruction, not because of a respiratory issue in my lungs, so I don't use Breathe, but my issue that I have is with anxiety and sleep.
Well, thank you.
See, 2 of us together make almost 1 full brain here. Because we inhale. Okay, so Deep Blue. I haven't talked about Deep Blue, right? Deep Blue is also a blend. It's great for muscle pain and joint health. If you know anybody who has arthritis, it's awesome for arthritis. It helps to relieve bruises, headaches, inflammation, overexertion, sprains, and more. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So you can use it before a workout. to avoid being sore later, or you could use it after a workout if you forgot to use it before your workout, when your muscles are sore, and it will help relieve that.
I noticed the odor, the smell of that.
Mhm.
It smells like a lot of the topical stuff that you get in the drugstores
Exactly.
and stuff. So is that's where they're getting this?
Except for they've made it synthetic so that they can copyright it. Yeah, exactly. So that's the real deal. What you smelled is the real deal. And that's the important thing to know too. If you're buying an oil and it's synthetic, you're not gonna get the therapeutic benefits from it. It might smell like peppermint, but it's gonna have no therapeutic benefits. And another thing that's probably important to talk about because of that is you don't wanna heat the oils. So you don't wanna put them in like a light bulb diffuser, that type of thing. They would be better in a vaporizer, humidifier, or a diffuser.
You want all the benefits.
Yeah, but that's exactly true. So they've taken, so like Vicks, they've taken some of the essential
Yes.
oils, they've made them synthetic. So you're smelling the eucalyptus, but it's not real eucalyptus.
Thick and icy hot, and some of these others you rub on,
Yeah.
it smells like.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And most drugs, whether they're over the counter or prescription, they came from a plant initially. They just were altered and made toxic for your body. Now, I'm not totally against drugs. If I break my femur, do not bring over an essential oil and put it on me. I will probably slap you. But I think there's a time and place. Yeah. But you know, there's a time and place for a drug, and there's a time, and also a lot of people go to the emergency room on a regular basis, and you could save a ton of money. I hear a lot, essential oils are expensive. If you save a couple co-pays, there's your entire first kit paid for in one copay even. So they're really not, and you're gonna use a drop. You're not gonna use a half a bottle, which, so people look at these bottles and go, that's tiny. Well, there's 280 some drops in there. So that tells you there's 280 applications. Even your Benadryl is not gonna give you 280 applications unless you're buying it at Costco. That's another story. Then you're taking too much Benadryl. Okay, so Digestin is going around, and Digestin, obviously it's clear by the name. It's good for digestive support. It relieves discomfort, food poisoning, and I actually tried it for food poisoning myself, and it really, I was afraid because I took it internally and I was sick. When you're sick, you're like, you smell it and you just go, I don't want to take that internally. But literally it calmed my stomach so quickly, I couldn't believe it. And I had to do it every 30 minutes initially, and then within a few hours I was fine.
How many drops did you take?
I did 1 drop in like a teaspoon of water, and I just chugged it down. Because at the time I wasn't keeping down water even. So I was afraid that I was gonna lose the digestion.
Now we're inhaling and chugging?
Yeah, and so if you're too nauseous to swallow it, you could inhale it, put it on the bottoms of the feet. Remember, it's gonna go throughout your bloodstream really quickly, okay? So it's great for acid reflux, nausea, constipation, and diarrhea, which is the ironic thing. So normally you would need 2 things to treat constipation and diarrhea, right? The oils are adaptogenic. So if you have constipation, it will relieve it. If you have diarrhea, it will relieve it.
It does both. It's so weird.
It's amazing.
Is there water
So
out there?
it actually
I
cuts
got you.
down on the amount of things that you need in your medicine cabinet. So
So
it's
if you
great.
have a crappy attitude, use it.
You need citrus oils for that. And it's true, I have a gal in my office that's always grouchy, and she comes in, and after a couple minutes in my office, because I have my diffuser going, she's cheerful and happy, and I'm like, you just sniff away, inhale, breathe in, breathe out. And again, so for a baby, if you had a colicky baby, you could put it on the bottoms of their feet. And initially, I would always dilute with a baby. Always dilute your essential oils.
Dilute with oil, right?
Yeah, coconut oil,
Oh,
or
sweet
you could use
milk, yeah.
olive oil.
Like a sweet apple
So
sauce.
On Guard, which is one of my favorite blends, in fall, I start putting this in my diffuser. It smells like Christmas. It's got cinnamon and clove and wild orange. It smells delightful. It smells better than any candle you could buy. And it kills viruses and bacteria in the air. So as soon as fall hits, that's in my diffuser, and it's in there until cold and flu season.
And for kids, you put in apple juice and it's like an apple cider.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And you can make like a cider out of it too. It's been known to kill the MRSA virus, it says right here. And it stops the growth of viruses and bacteria. And you can diffuse it, you can apply it on location. My son actually got from wrestling in Patago. Is that how you say it? In Patago? Which is disgusting. And they were like, he's not going to be able to wrestle. 2 days of On Guard essential oil and it was gone. And his coach goes, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Don't waste your time. It's not going to work. And he was absolutely shocked because the next day you could see that it was down to a quarter of the size that it was initially. It's also really good for your immune system. So you could take it in a capsule, or if you enjoy the taste. Well, you know, a lot of people are so set in medicine. It's the only thing that works. So I know a lot of people like that. Anyways, you could take it throughout cold and flu season in a capsule, or if you enjoy the taste of it, you could take it in a little bit of water or apple juice and just drink it like that to strengthen your immune system. So Purify is going around next, and Purify is really good for purifying. Purifies the air. You can use it in laundry detergent. I make my own laundry detergent, and then I use a little bit of Purify, and it kills any smell, because I have a teenage son, and teenagers smell. So yeah, it gets rid of that smell. And that's from the peanut gallery.
Smells like a bathroom.
You can use it. I also make my own homemade cleaner, and during the winter months I use On Guard. So I'll use 50% peroxide, half water, and then 10 drops of either Purify or On Guard, and I use it to clean my counters and disinfect. It's good for skin irritations, insect bites also, and it supports your immune system. And then,
and if you're going to a public place where they're going to put your feet in water, i.e. get a manicure, a pedicure,
that's a good
or
idea.
if you're going to a physical therapy place and they're going to do whirlpool therapy, I'm putting 2 or 3 drops, because I go to a whirlpool and it's pretty big, so I put like 2 to 3 drops of Purify in it. If it's just a small thing that just your feet are going to go into, I just put 1 drop.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Brenda?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Purify, is that something that would also be helpful for like anaphylactic?
That's a good question. I have to look up the benefits of Purify. This is a book that I use, and especially when I first got started, I started using this, and it's kind of like a little guidebook. So you pretty much just look up your symptom, and it tells you what oils to use.
And how to
Well,
use it.
it'll
Yeah,
tell
it
you
gives
like,
you
so the
recipes.
top oils are the red oils, the next oils are in yellow, and then the next oils are in green. That doesn't mean you have to use all those. That just means those red ones are the oils that are the most effective for that particular thing. So this makes it, a monkey could do this, right? If I can do it.
Some of them give you the recipe too, like the
Yeah,
blend.
there's
It's really
recipes
cool.
underneath.
If you learn to read in California, she can probably tell you
I would give anaphylaxis, you're usually using an antihistamine, and I would recommend lemon, lavender, and peppermint together as an antihistamine
Yeah.
after, if you were experiencing an anaphylactic episode, I would do the lemon, lavender, and peppermint immediately, and then I personally would be calling 911.
Right,
Yeah.
we carry the EpiPen.
But the lemon, lavender, and peppermint is a natural antihistamine. And I'll also go to the book to find out.
And there are certain things you don't want to just use an oil for if somebody's choking to death and they're not breathing. Obviously, you're not just going to apply an oil and go,
Well,
dang,
duh.
he died,
Yeah.
that oil didn't work, right?
Right.
There's sometimes where you need to call 911, but there's going to be, and this whole thing is because there might be times where we don't have emergency responders. There's such a great need that, you know what, it might be 4 hours before they get to your house. So yeah, it's great to know that you have something on hand that you can treat your family with now, and you can get results. We have an oil called Helichrysum. I'll be right with you, sweetheart. Do you have a question? Okay.
Yeah.
There's an oil that we have called Helichrysum, and it's what I call one of the big guns. So I didn't buy Helichrysum initially because it is $75 for the little bottle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's got like 85 drops. Is that how many are in there? So almost $1 a drop, right?
It's worth
And I'm
every
thinking,
penny.
I waited till I could get it free, and I got it for free. But it's called Stitches in a Bottle. So if you have a cut and it's bleeding, you put a drop of Helichrysum on, put pressure on, and I've seen it work 4 or 5 times with different people. Yeah, I've spent my dollar on these people going, let me try this, I want to see it. Oh, you're bleeding? I'm so excited. It's really bad, but it's true.
Let's see it, you know?
It's true, I feel really bad, cause I'm like, yes, you're bleeding! What's that? Yes, I did. I inhale every day. What's your question,
I
sweetheart?
also have a question. For anaphylactic bee stings, would Melaleuca be good for that?
Well, again, like Cheryl was saying, the lemon, lavender, and peppermint is your best bet for that, and I would also call 911, because you're talking, you need oxygen. Without oxygen, you die. Yes.
How would you? Which one of these would work best for like panic attacks and OCD type
So
situations?
she was talking about the Serenity. Serenity's great for that. Frankincense is also really good for
Okay.
anxiety, that type of thing. And again, you guys can look at this book and look it
Yeah.
up. Oh, so this is, but that's not for.
That's for bee sting. I think when you're talking about somebody who has an anaphylactic reaction, you could use the lemon, lavender, and peppermint. You could use Purify, but that's one of those emergencies that you need to seek traditional Western medicine for. That's not something that I would hold in my hand and not seek further.
Right.
You know, when
Just
my
like a
kid-
heart attack.
yeah.
You could try an oil for a heart attack and be on the phone with 911.
Right.
Right.
You will.
You could use Purify or Melaleuca on the oil, and if you don't know what oil to use frankincense. You know, when in doubt, use frankincense. But those, like Brenda was talking about the heart attack or if you break your leg, those are things that you need to seek medical attention for. Our emergency rooms are great places to go if you're having a life-threatening emergency. So I would not.
Hence the name emergency room.
Yeah.
You know, not I have an upset stomach room.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
If you were just having allergies, that's not a medical emergency. And I would use the oils. But anaphylaxis and MI, I'm going to activate 911.
I did a class at a house one time, it was kind of funny, and the gal had cats, and I'm allergic to cats, as I know Rochelle is. And so I love cats, they just don't like my body. And so I started sneezing and itching, and you could physically see my eyes were swelling, and I'm like, oh great. So I immediately took out a capsule, I have my capsules in my medicine box over there, and I made a capsule of lemon, lavender, and peppermint, and everybody there watched as I took that capsule, and within probably 2 to 3 minutes, I had stopped sneezing. And then within 5 to 10 minutes, my episode was completely over. Now, if I took a Benadryl, it's gonna take about an hour for that to kick in, and then I'm gonna be asleep. I'm not gonna be teaching a class. So I'm gonna let you look at this book, because you asked about anxiety. Will you pass this back to him for me? Sure. So you can read the little section about anxiety, and you can read the oils, and then I'll go over that with you at the end if you'd like to.
Is this book another product that you sell?
I don't sell the book, you can get it online, and then I do try to buy them in bulk when I can, so that I can pass along a discount to groups. So, if people are interested, we can do a bulk order. Sometimes Cheryl will have them, or I will have them, so we're definitely willing to help you guys out if we can get 8 people together or whatever to do a bulk order to save money. I like to save money.
That book runs about $24 if you just buy one. If you buy
Plus shipping and tax.
plus shipping and
Right.
and then if you buy it in bulk, you can get it as low as 18. So
Yeah, it's definitely worth
It's
every
not
penny.
like college textbooks.
Yeah, but it's a lot smaller and less expensive than a PDF.
Hundreds of dollars.
There you
True. And much more beneficial.
And that's not that's physician's desk reference.
reference.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Yeah. So the last oil, did you already pass around TerraShield?
Oh, I did.
Okay, so TerraShield just went through, and that's an insect repellent. And if you ask me, that's the best smelling insect repellent I have ever smelled.
Yeah.
Normally they gag me, and then I sneeze and itch and have to take a Benadryl. Which is defeats the whole purpose, right? So it really does deter flying insects. You might have a mosquito problem in an
Lavender's the best
emergency.
one,
Who
isn't it?
knows what kind of
Mosquito problem
insects?
by living.
Yeah, me too.
Gypsy moths,
Mosquitoes worship me.
tomato plants.
It can also help your pets. So you could put it in water and spray it on your pets to prevent them from getting bit by ticks and that type of thing. So again, this is just a sample of what oils we have and what they can do. I'm not here to sell you something, I'm here to teach people how to use them. If you're interested, if you want more information, we're gonna pass around a little sign-up sheet. You can put who sent you. If you're here with Oath Keepers, that would be Rochelle. She sent you here. Or if somebody else invited you, that would be who sent you. And so we can just give you a little more information if you'd like more information on oils.
What's the name of that book, James?
It's called Modern Essentials.
I was told to write it down because
Okay.
I was sleeping now I'm lying.
Aromatools.com.
Yeah.
Give the man some peppermint to inhale so he can wake up. So if anybody has any questions, you can also find me on Facebook. We have a great group called Share doTERRA on Facebook, and you can go on there and ask questions. So you just go on there, and people are up in the middle of the night because they're all over the world too. And so somebody has used an oil for something, and you go on, you ask a question, and usually in minutes you have several responses.
And
of
so
how to
many
use it.
testimonies on there too
Yeah.
about what people are using oils for and what's
Yeah.
happening. It's great.
It is great.
Now, you have a telephone number here that looks like it's for around here.
And that's because I'm from here.
Oh, okay.
I moved to the Bay Area from here. I grew up here in the high desert.
Okay,
So that's my cell phone.
that's your cell phone, okay.
I kept my cell phone number the same. I know everybody up there goes, where are you from? San Diego? No.
Okay, it's like right in the
So
area.
she is from around here?
Cheryl's from around here and Rochelle's from around here, and they're both
San Diego.
oil
San Diego
junkies
Port
too.
doesn't seem
They all sniff
There's
it.
several of us around in the high desert area, and usually we have free classes. Some of you might not be interested, but at the end of the month, I have a class on women's hormonal issues, and that's all we're gonna talk about at that class. And we offer this
Who
is
wouldn't
just
be
like a
interested in
network
that?
of people.
just say-
I know.
You guys are going down.
You should be.
But,
Funny.
you know, so we between all of the, we call them IPCs, between all the IPCs, we're having classes on a regular basis, and most of the classes are free.
Yeah.
I'm having a class tomorrow and I'm charging $5, but that's because you're gonna go home with enough laundry detergent for 128 loads. But usually all the classes are free. We'll have introduction to oils classes, we'll have pain management, mood management classes, back to school classes. The other couple weeks ago, I did a medicine cabinet makeover class, and I took just about all the expired drugs out of our own personal medicine cabinet and presented what you could use instead with a natural essential oil. And another thing with the essential oils, there's no expiration, like all the meds that I pulled out of our medicine cabinet. There's no expiration on your essential oil. And like frankincense, it gets better. It gets
Mine
better
doesn't
with
last
time.
long enough to get better,
To get
but.
I
Yeah.
have two questions.
Yeah.
Question number one,
Okay.
what's the evaporation rate on these oils?
You keep the lid on.
Yeah, keep the lid on and you're
I
good.
Yes.
gotta use it.
Oh.
Oh, but when you open it, then
Oh,
you
it's just
use it,
like
then you put the
emails
lid
from
back
us.
on, and
If you're just
you're
there,
fine.
And,
Like
and evaporation is part of how it's gonna go into your body.
That's
'cause
part of
you're
the diffusion process.
Question number two.
Yeah.
Do you have any oils that you can apply topically and rub in for ED?
For what?
ED.
You know, I think.
Like the
it's-
Viagra.
Just do Claire topically. No, just kidding. Don't do that.
This is
I
gonna
don't
be a
even know what
big
it is.
business.
That's a good sign for my husband, right?
Erectile dysfunction.
Education, what?
The purpose of Viagra is to bring blood flow to that region of the body.
I understand that.
There are oils
It's
that.
all red.
Oh my gosh, she called me to get a splinter out of her kid's finger
I
one
don't
day.
do blood.
But anyway, so the purpose of Viagra is to increase blood flow. There are oils that increase blood flow. I have not tried them personally, so I cannot say.
I would
this
think not.
is- you know,
Neither one of us suffer from that.
I can't say I have used it, but there's cassia. Cassia increases blood flow. There's a blend called Balance. Is Balance the blue stuff that I use when I go get my
Aroma Touch.
Aroma Touch increases blood
It's a
flow.
vasodilator.
Is it in the book?
But after 4 hours, you better call her.
I love this group. The sample of
man.
cassia, aroma touch, and
Stand up and tell us all
and coconut oil, so you dilute it.
Details out.
I will give you those samples, and then you can let us know how it works.
Don't try the cassia topic.
We want the
Not
G
for that.
No,
version
that's
too.
But really, aroma touch and balance is a vasodilator. What is Viagra?
Same thing.
It's a vasodilator. Aroma touch, balance, cassia. Now cassia is a hot oil.
Dilute.
But you know, all those oils vasodilate, stimulate, and you don't have to worry if you take nitrates, if you're taking nitroglycerin for chest pain, you don't have to get your physician's approval to have a prescription of balance, cassia, and aroma touch.
So these are what these oils are being sold on TV that make everything better for the couple?
You know what, I have not listened to those commercials.
Haven't you?
I
I like
Watch
to listen to
TV,
them
so-
because I like hearing at the end where they're like, may cause stroke, seizure, death.
Yeah.
That's worse than the initial problem.
Vomiting, yeah, all this stuff.
I'll take my headache.
But this is the nurse in me coming out. Some of the problems
Yeah.
with ED is emotional, and there are oils that will help with emotional problems. Another problem with ED is that it's uncontrolled hypertension and uncontrolled diabetes. You can use the essential oils to lower your blood sugars, to regulate your blood sugars, so that you don't have the hyperglycemia, which affects the blood flow, which affects.
So we've opened up an entire new market here, have we?
Well, you know.
It will be if we put it on our tilapia.
You're gonna be the next
Essential oils have been around since the Old Testament.
Absolutely.
And so I don't think it's a new market. I think it's just us here in the Western world not utilizing what God gave us on this earth.
Yeah.
But understanding what those things are
Listening
and
too much
how they
to
can
sing.
be used is what we are lacking.
So you
And-
can.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, this makes it so
Media
easy, and I make
brainwash.
no money.
Yeah.
That's what it
If
is.
you buy this book,
Yeah,
I make,
exactly.
I make no
Yeah.
money off of it, but this
Yeah.
book will help you, it's a great tool.
But I think like a lot of my patients, 90% of my patients are my patients because they had uncontrolled diabetes and uncontrolled hypertension or high blood pressure. If we can get them to use essential oils and control those things, we can prevent them from having to sit in a dialysis chair. Now, once they're on a dialysis chair, I don't know how to help them. But if I can help prevent somebody from ending up on my chair, I wanna do that. I wanna do that. And you know, there's other medical issues for ED, but I don't feel like I have the knowledge and the competency to, cause I don't.
But that doesn't mean
It
you can't
hasn't-
find out.
I can always.
No, I understand that, you know, and I was a bit facetious when I asked it, but I thought, you know, that's really what you see in television commercials today, if you watch TV, is there's so much of that thrown at you,
Oh, yeah.
because we're such a sexually oriented
Well,
society.
you had mentioned something about, you said something about, like, we were talking about, Deep Blue, which is the, did you say, what's the stuff?
Topical
Yeah, the topical stuff.
application,
I was
rub it
gonna
in.
tell you to take the
Watch that.
cassia and the fractionated coconut oil, or just organic coconut oil, and use that. If you want, you know, if you want something hot
I
on
could
your
have so
skin.
much fun with this.
Oh, I
There really is an oil for everything.
There is. There's
There
oil
truly
for
is an oil
everything.
for everything.
And my
Indians know
son,
everything.
we've taken him to the dermatologist for eons about some wart issues on his hands. And the
Indians
last
use
thing
all
that they
stuff,
gave
all
us
this
was
stuff.
gave us. They gave us a prescription.
Right.
The prescription was gonna be over $300 to fill if my husband didn't have his insurance.
Right.
Wow.
We got it because we only had a $25 copay. I looked into it. I looked into the prescription. I did some research. The prescription was Melaleuca.
Altered.
The prescription was Melaleuca. So our insurance company paid over $300 for this tube of stuff that my son didn't even end up using. When I had Melaleuca already in my hands.
Pure.
But, I would be more than happy to do more research on ED or any other type of medical problems.
Well, you have classes for women, I'm thinking, no classes for men, that's
You know, we
discrimination.
have more.
There's so many classes,
actually.
You can come to the menopause one.
Yeah.
But you guys have to experiment,
There's a
let
lot
us
of
know how it works first, okay?
About skin tags.
Yeah, there's actually oils to remove skin tags. Frankincense will help to decrease skin tags, oregano, but again, you have to be really cautious with your oregano because if you get it on the skin around the area, it's going to be very sensitive, yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, if you have an ailment, there is an oil for it. You just sometimes have to figure out, okay, so what's causing that? You know, what is causing this problem? And if you can get to the cause of that, you can usually go through the book, find an oil, or you can go on Share doTERRA, or you could Facebook Cheryl or myself or Rochelle and ask us, and we'll be happy to find out for you.
Now, are these people that also sell the product
Yeah.
besides yourself?
Yeah, they're all independent product consultants, and the cool thing is you could become an independent product consultant and not sell. So let's just say you want to buy it wholesale, it's like having a Costco membership. It's a doTERRA membership pretty much. And so you could buy it wholesale and there's no monthly requirements, you don't have, but if you're wanting to sell and get a commission, that's where there's requirements to purchase.
But unlike Costco, it's not annual, it's one time.
Actually, it is annual.
Is it annual now?
Yeah.
I think
It's a $35 annual fee.
But when you renew,
Nothing.
they send
Yeah.
you an oil that's worth $25.
Okay.
So in September, I got a peppermint.
Okay. Yeah, I've been in for 3 years, and this is the first time I've seen an enrollment chart on my thing. So I think they're just now really going by that, but that was initially what they had said anyways. But it's such a fraction. I mean, for what you're getting wholesale membership, you know, it's really worth it. And you can buy it retail. Oath Keepers, if you want to buy it retail, call Rochelle. She'd be happy to throw it on her order for you. But I don't know why you'd want to spend extra. You don't have to. That's my opinion. Any other questions? Yeah.
I am a cancer survivor, but at my last colonoscopy, I had a polyp that was precancerous. Is there something I can take to hopefully keep
And
it
it
away?
depends on the different type of cancer, but I know that frankincense is always recommended. In fact, I had gone to the doctor and I had elevated cancer counts for ovarian cancer, and they were quite elevated. And the doctor said, you really should have a hysterectomy. And I was like, give me 3 months. And she's like, okay. So she gave me 3 months. I used the essential oils, and that's when I started taking frankincense daily under my tongue. And I went back, and my cancer counts are below normal range now. So you can also go on Google and type in frankincense and cancer, and it'll take you to PubMed. So these are individual studies. This is not, this company did this study and they're saying it worked. This is an individual study from a medical community that has done these studies and proving that frankincense kills cancer cells. It's pretty interesting. But it can't be copyrighted, so you're not going to see it in the hospital near you.
Yeah, there's no money in that.
But,
No.
Yeah.
Chemotherapy.
Oh yeah, where is that hospital? Vanderbilt Hospital.
Where do they make the money?
It's in Tennessee, and they're actually using the essential oils in their hospital. They're diffusing them. And they have noticed that their employees are not calling in sick as often. Everybody's in a good mood more often. So they're noticing tremendous benefits to their employees just from diffusing the oils in the hospital. And actually a lot of hospitals have jumped on board. Loma Linda has recently jumped on board, and they're diffusing essential oils in their hospital.
You lower MRSA too.
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, if you're killing those superbugs, it's worth it right there. Yeah.
Hey, Brenda, let's take a little break.
Okay.
Everybody get a little snack and
Yep.
some water. We'll continue when we get
Okay.
back. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.